How's it going, everyone? I'm Keegs, and Ahsoka has shown up many times through the Star Wars universe, so I thought people might be a little confused as to when exactly the Ahsoka series is going to take place, so we're going to break it down here. Some quick nomenclature though: the Battle of Yavin takes place in Episode 4, A New Hope, when the original Death Star is destroyed and is typically regarded as Year Zero. Anything that takes place before that is regarded as BBY, or Before the Battle of Yavin, and anything that takes place after that is regarded as ABY, or After the Battle of Yavin. This show takes place shortly after The Mandalorian Season 2, which began around 9 ABY, which is also 5 years after Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. So we can safely assume that here in the Ahsoka Show, we are between 9 and 10 ABY. Well, that was a quick explanation, but if we really want to know how this fits into Ahsoka's life, we'll have to look into Ahsoka's overall history in the universe. She was born in 36 BBY, and a few years later was taken into the Jedi Order. In 22 BBY, at the age of 14, she becomes Anakin's Padawan, where she fought in the Clone Wars alongside Anakin until about 19 BBY, when Palpatine overthrew the Jedi Order and the Age of the Empire began in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Pretty soon after the fall of the Republic, she began aiding the Rebel Alliance, and 14 years after Episode 3 in 5 BBY, she met the Spectre Crew during Season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. Side note, the Ahsoka Show is going to be almost a direct continuation of the animated series Star Wars Rebels, so if you haven't seen that, then I highly recommend you go watch it. It's also pretty good. She worked with the Spectre Crew for a little while, but then disappeared after a fight with Vader in roughly 4 BBY, only to show up again 13 years later in 9 ABY, in The Mandalorian Season 2, looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn. After helping Mando and Grogu a few times, she links back up with Sabine in about 9 ABY to go on a hunt for Ezra, which is exactly where this show picks up, so Ahsoka is about 45 years old at this point. This show looks absolutely amazing, and if you've been following Ahsoka's journey this whole time, then I'm sure you're just as excited to see this as I am. If you haven't been following Ahsoka very closely, and this is kind of your first introduction to her, then I highly recommend you go watch my Ahsoka Explained video, which really goes over her entire history and really the most important things that happened to her. I also have a video about Morai, her owl, which is fairly important, but you could also just go and watch the entire Clone Wars and Rebels and read her book and watch The Mandalorian and pretty much everything else she's in, because it's all very good. Hopefully you learned something in this video and you got a better understanding of the timeline for Star Wars events. I'm Keegs, and I will catch you all next time for some more Star Wars content.